Welcome into another episode of The Latest with Devin Dobek and Brendan McLaughlin. We're very excited after Patriots coming off a big win fueled by their defense, who put up 35 points in fantasy. So let's get into that right away. Pats Dolphins 43-0 win, looked dominant. What does this mean for both teams, Brendan?
All right, Miami Dolphins are a dumpster fire. Just the past two games, 59-10, they lost to Baltimore. Then now, what was it, like 43 to like nothing?
0.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Like the Browns were really bad when they went 0-16, but they never really got blown out compared to what the Dolphins had the first two games this season. But I don't see them winning a game anytime soon. I don't know if you do.
No, I think if they had a chance, it was against New England in Miami, because that's where they love to beat the Patriots, and it happens as last year it did.
They even have Brian Flores too, an assistant coach of the Patriots, and Bill Belichick. That's one of his horrible things about him is that he loses to his former staff almost every time.
Yeah, so the Patriots defense, I think that's where we have to get into, is they just looked unbelievable. Obviously fueled all-pro corner Stephon Gilmore.
He's the number one corner in the league in my book.
Yeah, I agree. He's up there, top 3. I mean, there's some other good ones. You got to think about Kyle Fuller, those type of guys. But Stephon Gilmore with that 51-yard pick six, along with Jamie Collins, who looked really good for the team. He had 2 interceptions. Devin McCourty had another one. 6 sacks. Adam Butler had 2 of them. Yeah. They just looked really good as a whole, and I'm really excited to see where it takes them. Even Michael Bennett off the end looked really well.
Stephon Gilmore is number 1 in my book because he has probably the best supporting cast with him on the defense compared to like a Kyle Fuller. Like the Bears are stacked on defense, but that's more up front, like the front seven, compared to the secondary that the Patriots have. So Stephon Gilmore can be one-on-one, like when they played the Steelers, he was one-on-one with Juju, but he also had other players that double or triple team him, so he can basically shut down any wide receiver in the league.
Yeah, Stephon looked really good along with the rest of the defense, but the offense looked pretty good too. And the newest Patriot, Antonio Brown, was able to strike for the Pats' second touchdown rather. Yeah. He had 4 catches for 54 yards and looked really good in his debut. 8 targets from Tom Brady. Are you excited about Antonio Brown joining the Pats, or how are you feeling about it?
I mean, yeah, I'm excited about Antonio Brown on the Pats. First quarter, it seemed like Tom Brady was like forcing the ball to him a little bit, like 5 targets and like the first 2 drives for Tom Brady. And Tom Brady usually doesn't focus in on one wide receiver as much, unless if it's during the playoffs and Edelman, of course. But besides that, like Antonio Brown, this play, I thought it was offensive pass interference, but that's just me. But Antonio Brown's so shifty, so dynamic with his speed, he can basically do anything the way he wants to and when he's feeling it. So.
Yeah, and then he took out that lady in the front row in his touchdown celebration. She seemed to be okay, though. Obviously not
she
that
was
upset.
Rowdy. She got up like all
not that
cheering
upset
and
that Antonio Brown crashed into her. But yeah, that Dolphins team did not look good at all. And this guy is on his way out. Minkah Fitzpatrick, I think he's 22 years old, safety, first-round pick last year, and he wanted out.
He's talented.
He's in Pittsburgh
out of
now.
Alabama, but he went to Pittsburgh. Like Pittsburgh, like they're 0-2 also, but they're not in a good situation either. Like Big Ben's out for the season. His wrist is basically destroyed, and he might be retiring. So Minkah Fitzpatrick on the Steelers, he's probably one of the anchors of that Steeler offense now with T.J. Watt and others like that.
I wouldn't be shocked if other Dolphins started doing this. You got to think Kiko Alonso's now in New Orleans. They got Fitzpatrick down in Pittsburgh now.
They have Xavier Howard still in the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he shipped out.
He can be a top 5 corner when he's playing at his best too. So.
Yeah, but anyways, moving on. This guy, I think his legal troubles are behind him now. They didn't have enough evidence to conclusively
they basically got
make a case against him.
Yeah.
He did decline a $2 million settlement with the person who allegedly said that she raped him, or raped him, sexually assaulted him.
Yeah, because he still believes he never got to that extent, and he basically thinks it's a money grab at this point.
So yeah, it's very comforting, or not comforting, for loss of a better word, comforting, that Antonio Brown is going to be sticking with the team and not headed off or paying big fines. So that's very good to see. So now looking forward to next week, 1 o'clock at Gillette Stadium, Pats are taking on the Jets. The Jets, after losing Trevor Siemian with a leg injury after Myles Garrett almost killed him, and they lost Sam Darnold, Damano. Now they got their 3rd-string quarterback, I think something Falk.
Yeah,
Luke
Falk.
Falk.
It's crazy. He was picked 6th round 199, just like Tom Brady was picked 6th round 199. So it's Kind of weird, but
I think I'm going to take Tom Brady in this one over the Jets.
I might do that too. I'm still on the fence.
Yeah, but if that defense keeps clicking, they look really good last week, and if they can carry that into this week, I think that's.
I
Gonna
mean,
be a
the
great
Jets'
thing for them.
defense didn't look bad. They
Jamal Adams looked really good.
They kind of shut down the Browns for majority of the first half and into the third quarter, but then Odell Beckham Jr. became Odell Beckham
Yeah,
Jr.
the Jets just have a lot of issues going on right now.
And
as
then the
exhibited
Jets'
by this
99
one.
problems, according to this guy, came to fruition against the Browns. So.
Yeah. So
Look at
that's
this guy. This guy's so happy. Like, I don't understand why.
Yeah, it's a shame that the Jets. I shouldn't say shame because I don't really like the Jets, but you really thought they were gonna have a much better ball club, starting to build around, and they signed Le'Veon Bell, Jamal Adams still on that defense, all-pro safety. You got to think at some point it's going to be their time, but apparently this year's not going so well for them. 0-2, and losing their starter and backup. I don't think that's going to benefit them very much. But other around the league.
Then there's this guy.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson's look really good. Second projected quarterback going into this league, going into this week. What have you liked about Lamar so far, Brennan?
So Lamar, he's been criticized in the past for his passing not being a strong suit for him and basically a running back, so to say. But he's proved those doubters wrong with Hollywood Brown basically emerging as his number one target. But then the tight end Mark Andrews, he's came out of nowhere, basically being a vertical threat for Lamar Jackson in the red zone and just an outlet. So he has very talented guys on offense, and honestly, there's not a lot I see for him not to succeed.
So quarterback or running back? That's a big question. How do you see Lamar?
I think he's just a dual threat.
I think he's looked really good so far this season. You want to know what he reminds me of? As much as I hate to say it, he reminds me of Colin Kaepernick. They were the only two guys, 250 passing yards, 120-plus rush yards in a game. So that puts him up in
It's just Lamar Jackson, like, the only struggles he has is, like, when he throws the ball, he might float it a little too much because he doesn't put, like, enough oomph on it. Because he mostly tucks and runs, but when he throws, he sometimes goes into that motion and the ball sails on him. But besides that, what does he have, 4.5 speed as a quarterback? That's nuts.
Like, he looks really good, and I think Baltimore should be very excited and optimistic. Now, speaking of optimism, let's take a look at this guy, John Ross. Brennan, legit or not legit? Number 2 receiving in PPR and fantasy. He's put up a lot of points. Obviously, a few garbage time plays, as you like to say. But how are you feeling about John Ross? Is he legit, or is it just till A.J. Green comes back? You like Tyler Boyd better? What do you think about
He has
John
world-class speed, and Andy Dalton, when he's on his game, is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the game. But honestly, John Ross, he's gone through injuries in the past. We get both of his hamstrings and his knee to be honest, like, not good for a wide receiver, basically using his legs and his speed to boost off. But John Ross seems to put those doubters wrong. It's just, honestly, it depends on Andy Dalton and that offensive line. The Bengals have had those problems for the past 3 years, and it's kind of been the reason why they've been on the toilet of the AFC North. But honestly, if John Ross can produce like this, I don't see the Bengals losing a lot of games.
I believe they're 1-1, correct?
Yeah.
And who did they just lose to last week?
The 49ers.
Yeah, the 49ers. They got blown
that's
out
another
by the
team
49ers.
that's shocker. That's shocking.
Jimmy Garoppolo's looked pretty good. He's looked good. He's had a little help. Matt Breida had 100 rushing yards last
and
week.
George Kittle's always wide open.
So, but I think that wraps up our pro sports. So now we're going to get into the highlights from Spartan football last week. So taking a look at last week's highlights, the offensive line looked really good. Obviously, look at that blocking up front. Ryan Delaney, Lucas Ferguson, all those guys looked really good up front, giving Aiden Bean the time that he needed to escape and get the ball to Casey Maloney up the sideline, who also had a good game.
Yeah, and then Aiden Bean, the offensive line gives him a ton of time to roll out of the pocket. It seems like Alex Joyce, that play right there, down the field. It seems that Alex Joyce can get open receiving, but then Alex Joyce rushing the ball, and also the likes of Nico and Casey right out of the backfield. There's multiple different options and things that they can do on offense.
Yeah, and you look and you see these blocks off the end by Dylan Quigley and Nico Mojone, giving Alex the time and space to get the end around on the right and come up just short of the goal line there. That looked really good on both sides.
And then of course there's Bean that can run the QB sneak. He can use his legs, but then also there was a touchdown in this game where John Oliver basically barreled a beaver into the end zone. So he's a power back, it seems like. But then there's the defense here. Adam McCarthy showed out in this game. It seemed like both offensive and defensive. sides of the ball, Adam McCarthy was really great and a shocker to me.
Yeah, definitely. Adam McCarthy looked really good. He was a standout player. Dom Lisovitz looked really good too. I think he had an injury in the first half, but he was able to get a few men in the backfield. But Bean was throwing on the run a lot. Obviously, Nico came back to save him for this one. It was a little underthrown. And then John Oliver, as you said, the power back, able to power his way right there into the end zone.
Yeah,
Looked
there's
really
the
good.
beaver I was talking about.
And then love from his teammates. Wes Maurer there.
I love Wes.
And then the give around to Joyce there. And then look at this big block from Ferguson over on the left here. A big block from Lucas Ferguson, able to get Joyce, and he's so speedy. He was able to get out that right sideline very easily all the way to the house. He looked really strong. 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 passing.
Yeah.
And earned the respect of his teammates for sure in his first game back. Nico Mojan, big block here from Frankie Ferentino.
Also,
And
Liam
that
Connor
opened
was
up
in
the
on
lane,
that too, yeah.
Liam Connor as well. And then you got the give to Joyce again. Great cutback move, and he was able to get a couple there. Maloney in motion. Great motion plays run by the Spartans. Being able to roll out again there and get it to Alex.
And then Bean again rolling out. He just loves to be out of the pocket, and then Joyce made a miraculous catch here.
Great catch by Alex Joyce there. It looked really good for the team. That was his receiving touchdown.
Yeah, and then here's the defense again. This running back tried to get the outside, but then Quigley came in with a nice tackle there.
Yeah, he looked really good for the Spartans, getting his first start, I believe.
Yeah.
And then a big stick there from Casey.
Yeah, but it's just the Spartans' pressure were swarming the Putnam's QB the whole entire
Yeah,
game.
John Oliver in on those, and then big power back John Oliver, able to bowl through a few men. And then this is another great run by Joyce. Him on the right looked really good, and he was able to bowl through a lot of defenders and keep his feet moving.
Yeah, they couldn't even bring him down right
Very
here.
difficult for them to bring him down. And then probably another really good play, Bean on the run again.
Of course, to Joyce.
That play was there all night long. And then probably my favorite play of the game is Adam McCarthy, just absolutely drilling into everyone. This is my favorite play, actually. Able to put the truck right on that guy.
You're done.
Say, get
You're
off
done.
me. And that looked really good. Dan from the field caught that one. And then the give to McCarthy again. He was a power back. Him and Oliver, probably the power backs. Maloney and Joyce probably.
I think it just depends on the hot hand. Like that drive right there, anchored by Adam McCarthy, rushing, going through everyone, and then Casey touching it up at the end with a touchdown. I think just a hot hand between John Oliver and Adam McCarthy can be a threat to every defense in Western Mass.
Yeah, that defense and offense both looked really, really strong in that game. Hopefully they can keep it going, obviously. Nico there, keeping the ball, able to punch it in for a touchdown, and they looked really good. Spartans took that one 42-6. They got Amherst tomorrow night at 7. Hopefully Wes Maurer's injury is over with, and they're ready to go for round 2. Looking forward to Friday night at Amherst, 7 o'clock at the high school. Amherst Hurricanes beat us in the 7-on-7 over the summer. Spartans obviously crushed them in the playoffs, 42-14 last year.
Yeah, that was a whole different team, though.
I heard Amherst has one really big wide receiver, and he's going to be a stud on offense, and I guess he plays safety on defense. So we'll see how the Spartans adjust to that, as obviously Putnam didn't give them very much.
Give them very much at all to basically have their hands tied with. So
1-0 Spartans will go and take on Amherst Friday night. Very much looking forward, and we'll see you there. Brennan and myself will be on the call. So I guess we'll just move into soccer now. Boys soccer team 5-1, fueled by their captain Robbie Michalski. They've looked really strong.
yeah,
Some young underclassmen also performing. Luke Mazza, the Mazza twins.
just all the Mazzas have been key contributors to this team, along with Robbie Michalski and Tyler Smith. According to Robbie, Tyler Smith has been a great assist man for everyone on that team, and then also Dylan with his speed can set up plays everywhere on the field. So this soccer team's really good.
Yeah, I think they had 4 or 5 wins all last year. They're 5-1 to start now. Girls soccer team, congrats! They pulled in their first win against Belchertown yesterday, 3-2. I know Emma Catanzariti had a goal. I'm not sure who else. Very happy to see them get a win. They have a game 3:45 on Friday before the football game. Maybe you can catch the end of that. looking forward to seeing you there. So that pretty much wraps up our show. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope that you'll subscribe to LCAT. As for Brennan and myself, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.